Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Let me check my volume here. Let's see. All right. This is Naaman with the Great Millstone Camp here in Washington, D.C. Once again, back for another video. But first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kahakwadash, and of course, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, all right, pushing the truth across four corners of the earth, of course, aided by the many, many videos that are uploaded on a daily that go out for the edification of the hopeful elect of our people, because as the prophecies have dictated, time is indeed growing short, all right. This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair uses are used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Once again, fair use, fair use, fair use. One of the videos, I'm going to use a couple here, both of the same guy, by the way. This is one of the individuals, car sites, because I'm a car guy, hey, that I visit on a regular. You know, they're good. He's one of three. They're all friends, referred to as the three amigos. But they're constantly talking with the Stellantis slash rather Dodge, Ram, and Jeep execs. All right, and hey, they're, like I said, good at what they do, and they on a regular come out with information that is pretty damn accurate before the companies are ready to release it. So you know beforehand what's coming down the pike, that sort of thing. So what he's going to tell you today, as I guess for a few weeks now, it's been known that AutoZone is, or excuse me, Advance Auto is closing 700 stores. But it's a little bit more to it than that. And that's what this video is going to be about, because, hey, we continually tell you prophecy must be fulfilled, and all roads lead to the MOTB, which you're going to find out is the case here. All right. Hey, it's like, just think about it. As he, and this is not to brag or boast, but as he is good at what he does in his profession, I'll let him tell you what he does and used to do. Hey, we're out there for our people, trying to tell them and give them the inside information, so to speak. All right, because these prophecies, just as the scriptures say, and we are interpreting them correctly. All right, and you know, time-wise, that's why I always say in my videos, time is growing short, because it is. That window of opportunity for our people to repent, all right, because our people are the only ones under the law, therefore they're the only ones that can repent, all right. That window, that door, it's closing, all right. This is not the time to be straddling that proverbial fence, all right. So let's go get on with the video here, because what he said here, and we're going to play a video of a buddy of his that has been in the car business for many years, and he's going to also tell you what the hell's going on. Nothing that we haven't told you, but of course more detail, because again, this is something that they're into. So here we go. Remember, all this division that's happening, it's going to get far worse, and I'm going to explain why.
What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And this one's a crazy one, man. Advance Auto Parts is now closing over 700 stores. And there is a lot of different things that I want to get into in this video. The classic car junkyards to, old used auto parts, the LKQs, the things of that nature that are mysteriously catching on fire in the last 2 weeks, 12 across the country. But I want to talk about Advance in this video and the fact that they're closing 700 stores. And then I'm going to talk about why I think that is. Because the people that are creating the problem are also this, or the people that are creating the solution are also creating the problem. We're going to get into all that and more.
And that's what this devil does.
Right after this. We're going to get into all that and more right after this. Guys, before I get into today's video, I have to talk about the giveaway that's going on the channel right now. The SRT Dodge Durango Hellcat is now active. Comes with a trailer, and on that trailer, you can get a 1973 Plymouth Satellite that also runs and drives. Needs work. It is a project car that actually looks pretty decent. And it's a complete package. First time we've done that, I had somebody saying that they wanted us to get a classic car on this next run, but we got such an amazing deal on the Durango, I couldn't pass it up. So we had to do it. So Durango's there. Trailer's not expensive either, though. We have a company in North Carolina that builds these trailers. They're like $3,200. Yes, so they're wood, but steel, but wood, floor, plank, whatever you want to call it, metal ramps that come out from the back. They're dope. But anyways, if you want to win that package, extra entries are up, and they are closing out. So they will be done at some point this weekend. You can pretty much guarantee that. If you want to get in on it, link at some point this weekend. You can pretty much guarantee that. If you want to get in on it, in the description, garage.bigcar.com. So, Advance is closing 700 stores. Advance Auto Parts. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, why does that matter? I think it's the first. I think we're going to see something very similar from O'Reilly's, and I think we're going to see something very similar from AutoZone. The reason why is this. When you think about it, why would they close 700 stores? It's not like if you look at their books, if you talk about what they talk about and what they make profit-wise, right, to their shareholders, they're not losing money. So why would you close 700 stores? Well, it's because their largest shareholders are BlackRock and Vanguard. Guess what it is for O'Reilly Auto Parts? And Vanguard. You want to guess? Guess what it is for BlackRock and Vanguard. Huh. You want to guess? BlackRock and Vanguard. Huh.
Here we go. I asked the question. Who are the major shareholders in U.S. auto stores and auto parts stores? Major shareholders in U.S. auto retail and parts sectors are primarily large institutional investment firms with BlackRock, the Vanguard Group, and State Street Corporation leading ownership stakes in key publicly traded companies, auto parts retailers. In the auto parts retail sector, Advance Auto Parts, New York Stock Exchange AAP, is heavily held by institutional investors. As of March 2026, its top shareholders include BlackRock, Inc., T. Rowe Price Associates, Inc., what is that, Penza, whatever, Zeno, Investment Management, LLC, Vanguard Portfolio Management, and Federated Hermes, Inc. Wow. O'Reilly Automotive, Inc. holds the largest market share in the U.S. auto parts stores industry. Those specific major shareholder percentages are not detailed in the provided context. All right. Hold on. What the hell? Let's see. Did I miss something? Let's see. All right. Penske. Let's see, in the broader auto dealership and retail sector, major players like CarMax, all right, AutoNation, and Penske Automotive Group Inc. are also dominated by institutional ownership, while specific top holders for these dealership groups are not listed in the context. The sector is characterized by large cap groups utilizing scale to navigate market challenges, with significant institutional presence typical of large cap U.S. equities. What do you want to bet? This was in the works for a while. Again, all roads lead to the MOTB. Let's go back to the video.
Huh. Well, what about AutoZone? Yeah. BlackRock and Vanguard. Well, if they get rid of these auto parts stores and customers can't go in and go buy their own parts, to fix their vehicles, well, people will just be able to go to the dealer to buy parts, right? At least when it comes to General Motors and Ford, you know who their largest shareholders are? BlackRock and Vanguard. Why is this a problem? Well, BlackRock and Vanguard are also invested into multiple other defense contractors. I'm a defense contractor, I would know. They're also invested into the technology, right? And funded a lot of stuff for patents that Ford did. I don't know about the General Motors side, but all the tracking and shutdown software for these vehicles. Do you think there's a coincidence? The kill switches, the tracking, the speed limiters, all of that stuff? And now all of a sudden you're closing 700 advanced auto parts stores? No, again, you guys know I've worked in intelligence for over 20 years. I don't believe in coincidences. And I follow the money. You can look at the data. This looks like a, I don't want to say cash for clunkers because that was another thing, right? Think about this.
Let's look that up real quick. Cash for clunkers, because this goes back. Like I say, they've been at this for a while. Cash for clunkers. All right. The car allowance rebate system, commonly known as Cash for Clunkers, was a U.S. federal program implemented in 2009. Who was president then? That provided $3 billion in subsidies to encourage the trade-in of older, less fuel-efficient vehicles for newer, more efficient models. The program offered rebates of $3,500 or $4,500 for trading in vehicles with a combined fuel economy of 18 miles per gallon or less, which were then required to be scrapped. Now, do you believe that's the true cause or reason behind it? Key details include timeline. The program was signed into law on June 24, 2009 and ran until August 24, 2009 when funds were exhausted. Impact. It facilitated approximately 680,000 vehicle trades, aiming to stimulate the auto industry during the Great Recession and reduce carbon emissions. Current status. The federal Cash for Clunkers program is not available in 2026. It was a one-time stimulus measure that concluded over a decade. But was it more to that? Let's go back to the video. Remember, the things I'm telling you that you want to piss these Edomites off, in particular these down-home redneck motherfuckers, because you want to piss them off, there's a few things you go after. Now, we know his woman, and he's been losing in that category for a little while now. All right. His guns. And here we They're trying to get. Well, I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him tell you.
This. All those vehicles that they got rid of, all of those vehicles that they got rid of, cash for clunkers, etc., 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 from those vehicles were all easy to repair, fix in your driveway type of vehicles, right? Not a lot of computers,
Yes.
not a lot of
Yes.
stuff. Literally, like change a thermostat, change a hose, change a belt, replace a radiator,
And I
change a
miss
water
mine.
pump.
Damn.
All that stuff you could do in your driveway. Those vehicles are gone. It was a strategic, in my opinion, way to get people into more garbage vehicles. Really think about this, right? Vehicles that are made today do not last anywhere near as long as the older vehicles. I can tell you this now. I got friends, do they have to do timing chains and stuff on their E39s? I've owned one, the M5. Yes. That's about it. Just regular maintenance. You know what else breaks on that M5? Nothing. Not a thing. You can do thermostats, you can do an alternator, you can change the belt, you can change parts, you can do oil, you can do all that stuff in the driveway with no special computers, no special tools, nothing.
Let's take a break from here and go to a friend of his in Nevada, I believe he is, Las Vegas in particular. But this is a earlier video of his.
The E15 fuel, the junkyards catching on fire, are tied to these new vehicles that are going to have these kill switches, speed limiters, and everything else. So let me 2 clips from Bobby so you can see he's coming. This is a guy that's been in the car business probably his whole life, right? That's how I know. That's how I knew about him 15, 20 years ago. So let me run these clips and we'll come back.
In the country, they keep taking your rights away because they know that you will collide. A lot of people will bitch and moan, but then they don't want to be inconvenienced, so they end up losing their right. Basically what it is we live in a society where nobody wants to fight for what they believe in. They're like, oh, well, you're going to put a kill switch in my car? That sucks. But all right, fine, I still need to go buy a new car. And companies know that, politicians know that, right? Instead of people saying, fuck you, I'm not going to go buy a new car with a switch in it, and tell the politician, I'm not donating money to you, and I'm not even fucking voting. We should have an all-out boycott of the voting system this year, and not and say these policies are what's fucking it up. Everybody should, for 1 month, if every American in this country refused to go to a dealership and buy a car, these car companies would be on their knees blowing us and saying, what do we have to do for you to buy and not boycott? You can literally destroy a car company by not buying a car from them. And then say, no, we don't want kill switches. You better go to Washington, D.C. and tell these politicians to undo the law that put kill switch in cars in 2026. That's how it is. You have power. We have the power in mass to do so. But no one does. Everybody complies. They're like, sure, let me bend over and take it up. And that's what Americans are known for. Americans used to have backbones. Americans used to stand up for what they believe. Now, everybody's an ass. No one does that. Everybody complies. Everybody's like, sure, let me bend over and take it up the ass. And that's what Americans are known for. Americans used to have backbones. Americans used to stand up for what they believe in. Now, everybody's an ass pot.
Which, again, what we've been telling you, this is America on the decline, and rightfully so. For your wickedness, all right, has reached to the heavens, as the scriptures say in Revelation 18. All right, this place is out of here. All right, you want to complain now, but hey, look how you treated Jake. Jake only wanted what was rightfully his. But what did you say? Oh, they always want handouts. You constantly degrade Jake to the point in the eyes of the world, everybody hates Jake. All right, but and not to mention what you've done to others all around the world. All that shit's coming back on you now. So this is just your just desserts. All right.
Pirate. They bend over and take it up the ass while driving their fucking Tesla, wearing their jeans and their fucking man buns. That's basically the society that we live in. Am I going to lose some votes for it? Absolutely. But, at least I can go out there and speak my mind. I still got the balls to do so. No one's chopped them off yet. Government has mandated kill switches in all your cars, and a lot of people say, well, I'll drive my older car. This is what the government's doing to make sure that eventually you can't drive your older car, and you have to drive the new shit boxes with all the kill switching, the cameras, and the monitoring systems that are monitoring you, selling information, and letting them have control over your car. Here's what they're doing. They're now slowly pushing E15 ethanol into gasoline products, right? So what happens is, now more and more gas stations are selling gas that has ethanol in it. E15 is not compatible with cars prior to 2001. Let's just say you're driving a 96 Cadillac Fleetwood, or a 92 Chevy Caprice, or a 65 Mustang.
Damn.
What happens is, the methanol, what it does is corrodes your rubber hoses and gaskets and all that stuff. Because cars for that era, they were not compatible for ethanol, right? So now, when all this shit starts corroding, you can't drive it. And what happens? You got to drive one of these shit boxes that they control. They want monitor. They can turn it off by the flip of a switch. And that's how they're going to get you to drive new cars. And you can sit there and say all you want. I'll just drive a classic. No, not going to happen. Because more and more gasoline that goes into those cars become less and less available. As you've seen at gas stations, there's more and more gas stations that have more ethanol gas than anything else. Yes, you can put it in once, you can put it in twice, but if it sits, it's going to rot. So, that's an issue. That's what's happening. Government wants more control. We want less control. We want the fight to get rid of these kill switches. We should go back, because both Democrats and Republicans voted to put the kill switches in these cars starting 2026. So every car, doesn't matter if it's a GM, if it's a Toyota, Honda, whatever, will have a kill switch in it. And every car, starting this year, next year, has some sort of technology where basically they'll watch you. Like General Motors. They have cameras all around the car. And if you walk up to the car and you're not walking, they're not going to let you in the car. Let's just say your kid fell off the tree and you're rushing and panicking to get the kid in the car. They're not going to let you do that because you are at a heightened sense, right? Or let's just say you slouch down in your seat. All of a sudden, the car says, well, wake up. We're going to send a report to somebody. And it may not, if you have a warrant, it's going to scan your fingerprints, the Fords are. It's going to scan your fingerprints, and your car's going to rat you out. You don't have to worry about Sammy the Bull, because the Ford's going to rat you out. So, Ford took a page out of Sammy the Bull's book. That's what they're going to do. They're going to say search for warrants, and they're going to rat you out.
So Bobby's just not...
Because the fucking Ford's going to rat you out. That's it. So, Ford took a page out of Sammy the Bull's book.
Graham Eckert, he actually has insight into car because he sold exotics, regular cars, all kinds of shit for years.
More and more like Minority Report, the movie
almost
back in the
feel
day
like
with Tom Cruise.
This story of how they're trying to ban the parts, right? You got the shit going on in New York where they're banning CNC machines where they can't make tools. So you're trying to ban the tools, you're trying to ban the parts, and now you're putting E15 in the fuel to destroy the cars, as many cars as you can. To do what? To force everybody into these surveillance machines. That's basically what they are. They'll be able to hear your conversation. They'll be able to turn your, you said something negative, whoever is in your area, car off. You don't get to have a car. You're going to say, that's some dystopian 1984 shit, okay? Yeah, it is. And if you don't think that happened, you're not that bright.
Oh, you said something negative about whoever it is in your area? Car off. You don't get that.
Government does not want those cars out anymore or on the road. Or the people are funding these programs and things behind the government.
It is.
So,
and if you don't think that's
when I was looking at this, I literally couldn't believe it. Somebody had sent me something and I was like, let me dig into this.
All right,
This
so
is
let's go back
probably
to the
bullshit.
first one.
And when I saw BlackRock and Vanguard
does not want those cars out
as the top shareholders at these auto part stores, and auto parts manufacturers,
So
I went,
when I was looking at this,
interesting.
I literally couldn't believe
And then I looked and I was like,
somebody
I
had
wonder
sent me something and I was
if
like,
they
let me dig
own
into this. This is
a
probably
bunch of
bullshit.
these
And when I saw
used car
BlackRock and
auto
Vanguard
parts.
as the top shareholders,
They're invested into it. They're not like they don't own LKQ. Not that I was able to find. But I'm willing to bet you money that BlackRock and Vanguard are probably in that market too.
Interesting. And
This
then I looked and I was like,
is
I wonder
concerning
if they own a bunch
because it looks
of
like
these
between state legislation
auto,
of them
used
trying
car
to
auto parts.
ban all of these vehicles, taking away the parts. You got state of New York, which they're saying it's because of ghost guns, but that's not, we're not dumb. Now you want to get CNCs and lathe machines so that you can't make wrenches or tools or
Concerning.
things like that.
Because it looks like between state legislation of them trying
No,
to
man.
ban all of these vehicles, taking away the parts, you got state of New York, which they're saying it's because of ghost guns, but that's not, we're not dumb. Now you want to get rid of CNCs and lathe machines so that you can't make wrenches or tools or things like that. I don't know, man.
For those of you that don't know, this is what they're talking about. They want to outlaw these. Computer numerical control refers to the automated control of machine tools by a computer, which translates digital instructions, typical G code, into precise physical movements. This technology has largely replaced manual machining. All right. Here are examples here. Let's see. All right. They want to outlaw things like this where you can't create your own shit. All right, because this Ford CEO went up there talking about they want to do away with the right to repair and all that. So they're using the excuse, as he was saying, with you using this to create parts for ghost guns. That's what he's making reference to here.
This is
And lathes and all that stuff.
extremely interesting to me. If you have an older vehicle, I'd say buy some parts, get a parts car, park it somewhere. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And if, you know, I know that these companies are going to, I know a lot of these companies are going to go to the president and want like this anti-right to repair legislation. I think
There you go.
that we need our representatives and the president to just codify this in law to shut this
These
bullshit
people
down.
are bought and paid for. That shit ain't gonna
Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. What do you think about Advanced Auto Parts closing these 700 stores? Do you think it's a coordinated effort to get these older cars off the road? Because I do. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
So there you go. And yes, I do too. All right. And the thing is, when we talk about division here, like I said, this Edomite, all right, certain things he considers, you know, sacrilege to fuck with. All right. Like I said, his woman, his guns, all right, and now you want to fuck with his cars? What the hell? So you think it's bad now? See, the thing is, this is midterms. The states he's talking about are all blue states that are coming out with this shit. California just jumped in, like he said, New York. Minnesota is not really that bad by comparison, because what they want as far as the classic cars, they just want you to, like, when I had mine here when I was living in Maryland, did nobody pay attention to that shit. They want you to drive it just because I had, you know, classic tags. And it was like, they want you to drive it on weekends, holidays, you know, shit like that, parades. But shit, I drove mine all the time. Anybody got time to fuck with people just because they want to drive their okay. But now, This is what Minnesota's trying to do. The classic car crowd. They're trying to restrict them more, and plus what he's saying with the gas. All right, all these old cars, 2001 and older. Yeah, this is some dystopian shit. All right, this is Mark 3 and 24. Now, if a kingdom be divided against itself, now, like I say, it's only going to get worse from here on out. And let me finish when I was talking about the Democrats. Here it is, midterm, and you're going to do some stupid shit like this. That's why we say, if you have fed into this Democrat versus Republican dynamic, you're an idiot because they're both working together. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. All right. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but hath an end. All right. So this is just going to push probably motherfuckers over the edge. I mean, there's other shit going on, but this is all related, trust you, when it comes to the downfall of this place. All right. Oh, man. And it's just what? Next weekend is the 4th? Wow. Oh, and you got what? Let's see, June, 4 months now? Let's see, June, July. Well, I might as well say July now. August, September, October, and then November. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Should be interesting. But as I always say, good riddance. Fuck this place. All right, it's almost out of here. We almost out of here. So with that, once again, I hope whoever views this, you've been edified. It's what we do here at Great Millstone. And I like to continue to encourage you to remain circumspect, especially now, the days that we're coming into. All right, hey, it's not the time to sleep. All right, or get caught out there, because I'm telling you, these Edomites, they're feeling the pinch. All right, they've been talking that shit and about us for so long. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and shit like that. But hey, we tell them the same thing now. All right, and all those people that that came over here and were sucking up to them, they're feeling it too. All right. So with that, hey, until the next video, hey, shalom.